going to hit the record button and go ahead and get started. Hopefully I'm doing this correctly because this is my first time running a Zoom team meeting, but I'm incredibly excited to come tonight and share with you some of my takeaways that I've gotten recently with coaching. And just mindset and how I've kind of shifted that and what I've seen happen in my business as I've done that. So I am Rochelle Bailey. If you don't know me, Lindsay opened this up to our larger team, and I'll be honest with you, when she asked me to do this, my first thought was like, no, because I was nervous, I was scared. I was like, it's one thing to share with like my intimate team that I know much better, but to come and share with all of you was a little intimidating because that is, it's a larger audience. And this is something that I'm not really used to. I've done smaller trainings with my team and like a sort of a challenge on Facebook. We did a group and did like a whole how to run your business challenge over 5 days, which was cool. But this is my first time doing something like this. And I think one of the biggest takeaways that I have for you that I have learned over the last few weeks is, basically what I'm doing right now. So in the past, if I didn't feel completely confident in what I was going to do, or if I hadn't tried it on a small version first, or if I didn't have, that kind of practice over and over and over of what I was going to do, then I just wouldn't do it. That is something that I've done growing up. Like, it is basically that perfectionism slash fear of failure. And that I heard something on a podcast this week that really stuck with me. It was Jessie Lee. She's hashtag Bossly, the People's Mentor is her podcast. And if you don't have any personal development already in your day, I think she's a fantastic one to start with because she's full of energy. She's always going to get you pumped up. So if I'm ever feeling down, she's my go-to that I will go listen to. If you want somebody who's like loud and shouting and all this energy, then you're going to love her. If you're like, that's really not for me, I don't think I can handle it, then our very own Tracy Diotto also has an awesome podcast. And she has that calm, soothing voice that makes you feel like you can also do anything. So, but anyway, on Jessie's podcast this week, she said, procrastination is, or perfectionism is really just, you're spelling it incorrectly. It's just procrastination. And I mean, it's so true. If you're aiming for perfection, then you're just looking for all the different ways that you can put it off. Because as a believer, if you're a believer like me, then you know there's only one perfect thing, and that is God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, the Trinity. Jesus came on earth and he was perfect, and I am never going to hit that. So why am I trying? And even worse, why am I not trying? Because I have fear of not doing something perfectly. So even tonight with this training that I wanted to do for my team, I have been thinking that I need to do something. I want to share some of these takeaways that I have around mindset and really utilizing the resources and tools that we have to really go for it. And I was putting it off until I came up with this outline and something perfect to talk about. Well, guess what? I just put it out there, didn't have an outline. If I start rambling, that's why, because I was like, I just need to go because I have this voice, I have this nudging, I have this prodding. And that's kind of, and Tracy talked about that in one of her podcasts. And that's, you want to listen to that. That's your intuition. That's your inner guide. That's something guiding you. So if you feel those nudges to reach out to somebody, to ask them if they're open to take a look, if you feel those nudges to reach out to your upline, but you're afraid that you will bother them, you're not bothering them. You're not bothering me. You're not bothering Lindsay. I know that we are available. If you have any questions or if you need assistance. If you're feeling a nudge to do a live video, or maybe you've been following the training, but you're feeling a nudge to do something just ever so slightly different to work your business, then I encourage you to listen to that, because once you start following those intuitions, you're going to start gaining confidence in yourself, because you're going to see things come to fruition. And really, it's going to help kind of solidify where you're going. And so for me, I just recently did Ray Higdon's 14-day challenge. And for those of you who don't know who he is a former network marketing. I don't know, is that the right way to say that? He is a former network marketer. Yeah, I think that's the right way. He, had a business just like we do, totally different company. He was a multi-million-dollar earner, top sales, top recruiter. And he's decided in recent years to leave all that behind and just shift solely to the coaching and training space. And he's somebody that Paula Chavez introduced me to. I know Lindsay follows him, Lauren Holt. There are several women on our team who follow his training. And I did his 14-day challenge. So if any of you that are friends with me on Facebook, you see me doing a lot of live videos. And you may be watching me, especially if you just met me recently or you're new to the team and thinking, oh my gosh, she's going live all the time. She seems confident. She's constantly like, oh, there goes Rochelle. She's going live again. Oh, there she goes again. Well, let me tell you, this is my 4th challenge. I have done 3 challenges prior to this. My first one, I did every single day, no matter what, because I wasn't going to quit. But I was literally doing them at 11:50 at night. Like I was putting them off. I was dreading them. My 2nd and 3rd challenge, I didn't complete either of those. And this one, it was like something finally clicked for me. The more I heard Ray talk about things that he'd been telling me the previous 3 challenges, but we don't have to be an expert. You're not expected to be an expert in your business. You're not expected to be an expert in the space that you're in. And in fact, if you just show up with what you're passionate about, show up with what you really enjoy, then that's going to come across, and people are just going to be drawn to you and attracted to you, because people want to follow people who know what they're doing. People want to follow people who are excited about what they're doing. And I think that the more action you take doing those things over and over and over, you're just going to continue to build your confidence. And that's what it did for me. So the previous 14-day challenges, I could not wait for day 14 to come, because I was like, I'm never doing a live video again. And I mean, I have no problem doing my live videos in my VIP parties and groups and things, but for some reason, doing them in front of the entire Facebook community, I was just nervous. And what it all boiled down to is I was fearing what other people thought of me, because I thought they would think I was a phony and a fraud, or that what I had to offer wasn't valuable. And so there's 2, big breaks that I had around those 2 limiting beliefs. And the first one about being a phony or a fraud, Ray would constantly say to us, you don't have to be the expert. You can Google, whatever. And I heard that and I knew that, but it wasn't until one of our Zaya sisters, I think her last name's Rue, Jen Rue. We all have this chat going on for a bunch of us girls that are in the inner circle. And we were talking through some of our 14-day challenge things. And she said, you know what? She was like, she talked about how she was sharing with a bunch of women, like on stage. She was asked by her corporate America job. And she said she Googled most of her content like that week leading up to it. And it was really kind of eye-opening for me, because she was asked to speak on stage. I'm thinking she must be an expert on this or whatever. And certainly she has some knowledge in it. But it was when she said to us, even if you're sharing the same information somebody else has shared, if we're getting it to more people and reaching it to more people, that's a good thing. And it was just like a light bulb moment for me. I was like, oh my gosh, she's so right. So much of my feed is filled with all my beautiful Zaya sisters. And people like me, you know, who tend to think the same way. Um, and here I am thinking, and really it hit both of them. One, I don't have any value to provide. These people already know this. Like, even coming here on this training with you tonight, like, what value am I going to provide? Everybody has heard this before, but hearing it said a different way, hearing it said for the 25th time, whatever it is, when it's it's okay, it's good, it's great to be sharing that information. And then also, you know, you don't have to be an expert. Like, we're not intended or meant to be an expert. And in fact, you know, I've had people say to me recently, like, I don't think I could do everything you do. And I don't ever want to give the impression that this is what you have to do to be successful in business. I have very large goals to leave my corporate job. So I am doing extra to try to cram things into a smaller amount of time. But if you are here to hang out with us and have fun, you picked an awesome group to hang out with, and we are super excited for that. If you are here to make an extra couple $100 a month, like, or just shop for a discount, and if you get an extra $50, you're excited, that's amazing. And if you have big goals, there is room for everybody here. And I think one of the best things about Zaya is not even related to that income. It's just this whole mindset part that I've been rambling on about now for almost 20 minutes, because it has truly changed my life. I am not the same person talking to you today that I was a year ago. I could not have come on here a year ago and spoke confidently or felt as good as I do about myself. And so that kind of brings me to the next piece I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight. And that is when it comes to your sales and your business is, you know, a lot of people, when you're prospecting, I won't say a lot, but me personally, when I was prospecting in the business before, my mindset was so wrapped around, like, people want to do this to make extra money. Don't get me wrong, especially in today's COVID world, there are people who absolutely need this to make extra money and want this to make extra money. But more than anything, could you imagine if we recruited hundreds of thousands of people who just started feeling better about themselves, who just started looking at things more positively, who just started to want to change other people's lives and be happy? Like, can you imagine the life change that would happen, like, around the world? And that's what gets me excited. I'm like getting cold chills. I'm freaking out, guys, because this is about so much more than our paychecks. I feel like the paycheck is a bonus, and I'm not trying to take away from it if that is your main focus for being here, because that is fantastic too. But either way you look at it, if you are pouring into if you want to grow your business, you have to pour into yourself. 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 You will start seeing your business take off when you really start pouring into yourself. And when you pour into yourself, guess what? Your spouse gets treated differently. Maybe you start having less arguments, and you have a better home life. Your kids you have more patience. You want to spend more time with them. You cherish the time with them. I mean, when you are pouring into yourself, it's going to affect everyone around you for the better. So it's just so amazing. And I think the other big thing that clicked for me was when I finally, hey, boo boo, that's a pretty drawing, was when I read this book, The Big Leap. And I actually listened to it on Audible because I am so busy that I can't, like, my brain doesn't shut off to sit down and read right now because I'm thinking I need to be doing some sort of action, like reaching out to people. So I listened to it on Audible and I just flew through it. But there's some questions that he asks in the beginning talking about your upper limit beliefs. And let me see if I can find that page, because like I said, I listened to it on Audible and it was so good that I ordered it. And look at me, I'm getting all red and splotchy because I get so nervous talking in front of people, but I'm not going to find it. But he asked 3 different questions. Here it is. He says, he asked different questions about determining if you have this upper limit belief. It is a game changer book, Lindsay, for sure. And the question that really hit me was, am I willing to increase the amount of time every day that I feel good inside? And when he said that question, like in my Audible, I was like, what? Like, why was I not a resounding yes? As somebody who suffered from anxiety and depression, why would I not want to think, yes, I want to feel good inside all the time? And so it was so eye-opening for me. So if you're looking for personal development, I highly recommend this book, The Big Leap. You can listen to it on Audible or you can read it, because those questions and those limiting beliefs, once you break through, it's a game changer. And I feel like for me, it's been the game changer for me lately, because now, like today, when Lindsay asked me, hey, would you mind opening up your training to the whole team? Instantly, I was like, those self-sabotaging thoughts came back where I was like, it's not going to be valuable enough. Lindsay has more experience. I got a creeper stalker in the background. Lindsay has, Night, I love you. Lindsay has more experience. She's a better leader than me. And I was like, no, those are my limiting beliefs. They are wanting to creep in and they are trying to squash me. And just real quick, because we have 6 minutes left, because I got a free Zoom and it's going to cut me off. And there's one more thing I wanted to thank you, Lindsay. There's one more thing that I wanted to say, but real quick, the book is about recognizing what those limiting beliefs are. And once you do, because you have this thermostat inside you that sets the gauge for how good you can feel, how happy you can feel, supposedly. And once you hit that limit and once you go over it and start like feeling even better, feeling even happier, things are going amazingly, you find ways, your subconscious does, to bring you back down to that thermostat, that gauge. And that's what it was trying to do to me. And I was like, no, I got to power through. My husband told me to put on my floaties and just wade in the water and ride it out. Because I told him, I was like, the self-sabotage is kicking in. And it's just a game changer. But I could probably ramble on forever about mindset. I'm very passionate about it, which is why a lot of my live videos are about that. But sales, real quick. If you're new, if you're old, if you're not where you want to be this month, or if you're killing it, but you just want some more sales, Lindsay has amazingly created this mega party event this weekend. And what better way to have a party without you having to organize every single post, without you having to organize every single live? So reach out to everybody that you know. You can reach out to old customers that you haven't talked to in a while. My coach and I talked about that a couple weeks ago, and just some good things to say is, you can check in, say there's a bunch of changes since we last chatted. I mean, I have people that I hadn't reached out to who never ordered in original parties. And she was like, hey, just tell them, hey, we haven't talked in like a year and a half, but some amazing stuff has been happening. Would you want to be added to another party? Or I can, just share a link with you and you can check it out. And I already got a response today that said, no, not interested. But I also got a response that said, yes, send me a link. So you just don't know what you're going to get. And then I started going through my VIP group for the mega party and said, hey, this girl, I don't even know how she got in there. And I said, hey, hope you're doing well. I know you haven't had a chance to check out Zaya yet. So I wanted to reach out and let you know my team is doing a big online Zaya party this weekend. And I will be doing a giveaway for anyone that attends. Would you be open to checking it out? No big deal if not. So I challenge you, go through your VIP group, anybody who hasn't ordered at all or ordered in the last couple of months, reach out and let them know that you have this big event happening this weekend. If they want to check it out, you don't have to do a giveaway. That is totally up to the individual business owner. Go through your friends list. Anybody you haven't reached out to yet, hey, I don't know if you're aware, but I joined this activewear company. It's pretty amazing. Think Lululemon without the price tag. We're doing a big party this weekend. Would you be open to checking it out? But before you send messages, I want you to do a dance. I want you to put on your favorite song and do a dance, because everything in this business is mindset. Everything in this business is how you feel about yourself. The hardest person you have to sell is yourself. So sell yourself on yourself. And once you do that, reaching out to anybody, it becomes so easy. So I know we ran real close to time. I don't know if there's any questions. I have 2 minutes just in case anybody wanted to ask a question. If not, then I'll wrap it up, because I don't want it to just cut me off mid sentence, which it looks like I have like 60 seconds. So if not, thank you so much for hopping on and checking this out. I hope you found some value in it. I just want to say that I believe in you. You are here for a reason. It's not an accident, it's on purpose. So don't be afraid to shine. I know you can do it. And I hope that you have a wonderful week and Thanksgiving. Thanks.